Groovy.
What up, motherfuckers?
Hey, how's it going?
Fucking sorry we're late as always. It was Scarpet's fault, so blame him.
Well, me, not me. I was there, motherfucker.
But
Although I did just finish this fucking movie 10 minutes before the thing
I
started.
know, me too. I thought it was an hour and a half, like you'd mentioned. It's 2
It
hours.
should have been an hour and a half, but we'll go into that in the video.
I don't know. But if you didn't know, tonight we're here to review George Romero's Dark Half, based on a story by Stephen King. So, you can't go wrong. You know how much I love Stephen King, guys. And then you got George Romero and Stephen King teaming up.
Yeah, George Romero wrote the screenplay too for this.
Yeah, so
And
they only teamed up the 2 times for Creepshow and this. So, I can't believe these guys didn't work together more, because they just put out some incredible work. As always, hit that like, subscribe, hit that bell notification if you didn't already, so you get updated every time we drop a video. But we got my homie 2 weeks in a row. He's blessing us. Rockin' Robbie.
Nation, what is up, everybody? Super excited to be
excited. He's got the balloons coming for you.
Hell yeah. Thank you for the welcome invitation, and thank you for having me here, Dylan, 2 weeks in a row. Very excited to be here. When I saw this one on the list, we had that conversation. Like I had to be here for this one. Like for real.
I knew it would be tough with Bubba Hotep and then this one on there, because I had a feeling that I know Romero's a big one for you, but I just had a feeling like that you were really going to be excited for this.
Yeah, and I know you love your Stephen King, so it's nice when you want to talk about a good or a decent Stephen King movie.
Oh yeah, yeah. I have a love for almost all of them, and sometimes
this is better than Tommy Knockers. I'm just gonna say.
Oh my God, that would be the one that I would 100%.
yeah, but now what about Storm of the Century?
That is one of the bad. No,
it's better than that boring ass shit too, man.
Storm of the Century is awesome, but Tommy Knockers is like probably the worst Stephen King adaptation ever. That's due for a remake, man, because that could be good. I did like that though when I was a kid, the Tommy Knockers, but I actually have it on DVD, and oh my God, it aged so bad, bro. That aged so bad.
I just like the whole idea of Tommy Knockers, but
that's why it's right for a remake. I had heard that they were talking about redoing it. I don't know what's going on. Honestly, I think that Mike Flanagan should do almost all of Stephen King.
I don't know about that, but
he should do a good amount of them.
I'd like to see him take on Sleepwalkers. I'd like to see what he does with that one.
Sleepwalkers is awesome. Ooh, which one of Flanagan's King movies do you not like? I think he's only done 2.
I've only seen Dr. Sleep, man.
Oh, but he did Gerald's Game, and everybody said for years.
I hear that's a good one. man.
I
just don't feel personally in the stuff that I've seen from Flanagan that he knows how to end something. So that's just me. That's just my take.
There is a director's cut of Dr. Sleep if you haven't.
Oh, that's what I watched.
You did? Okay.
Yeah.
I can't remember which. I know I've seen them both, but I can't remember the differences. We do have a 4th guest, and he was with us for Lawnmower Man, and he's back again. We got Billy Power Max, and he's been hitting them deadlifts.
You are disturbing the peaceful frame of mind I'm in.
I was
disturbing
that, but now I just got it.
What's going on? Thanks for having me, Dylan.
Of course.
It's a pleasure to be on the panel. Scarpad, Rocky and Robbie. It's finally great to be on I will do a station with you, although I prefer unit, but station.
I guess it worked out perfect. I didn't know if Perry was going to make it or not. And he didn't say nothing to me. So I was like, well, if he doesn't, we got Billy coming for sure.
Well, as we discussed in the pre-show banter, 2 Billies are worth 1 Perry, at least, in a bush.
All right. But yeah, man. So like I talked about last week, I know Robbie was here. So I was saying that this has been a movie I've been dying to review. I'd say since I started DHS. But for a long time, and still to this day, it does not have like a US Blu-ray. I don't think it ever got a Blu-ray. I know it has like a DVD. And that DVD is that's a hard one to get. The only thing it has is a Region B Blu-ray in like the United Kingdom, which I think Scarpad does have that. But finally, it
has really good transfer.
And finally, I wonder who did that, Eureka or something?
Eureka.
And finally, it's been put on Amazon Prime, and I saw that a couple months ago, and I was like, we got to finally get it, because it's hard. That's why I haven't done Dead Alive yet, because that's another hard one to find, and whoever comes on has to be able to watch it. You know what I mean? And I remember me and Robbie, it's hard to find a good copy of that. It's probably possible, but you know what I mean? It's like you gotta.
Yeah, and I don't even think it's streaming anyway.
Well, it's not streaming, but it's possible because there's I think a European release or something like that. But
maybe
we know that they're doing a remaster of it, so we're just waiting now for that.
And that's another thing. I've been waiting for the 4K because I was gonna probably do a review with the 4. Like Scarpad and I will sometimes do a review on that 4K, and then also the movie, the transfer, all the special features, all that. So I've been waiting for that, but I haven't seen any of Peter Jackson's 4K, like Bad Taste, Bad Taste and Dead or Alive.
Meet the Feebles.
Meet the Feebles. Okay, yeah, that was the other one I couldn't think of. But I'd seen something because Vinegar Syndrome did some posts, and they have this new side company that put out Station. They putting out like Red Rock and some other movies. It's like a cinematographer side company that like third party companies, and they were like, what's a movie you guys would recommend us doing and why? And I was like, dude, y'all gotta do The Dark Half, because Vinegar Syndrome would fucking do an incredible slipcover first off, and they would just kill it with the fucking the transfer. But I wonder if it's because of Romero. I wonder why this has not gotten.
Could be Romero Estates. Yeah.
Well, and technically right now, Amazon owns this movie because they bought MGM, who owns this movie. They bought it MGM swallowed up Orion.
Yeah.
And then now MGM's been swallowed up by Amazon. So that's probably why it's available on Amazon Prime right now.
Yeah, that would make sense.
MGM's stuff is very tough to get on.
It was on HBO Max too for a couple months before for a couple months. I'm pretty certain this was on HBO Max.
It was, yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad we're talking about it because, me and you, like since the beginning of DHS, we talked about doing this film because we both at one point, at least I know I did, but I think at one point we both had a DVD of it, right? And then I got rid of that DVD.
Yeah, same. I
never bought it on Blu-ray. And then they came out with the Scream Factory Blu-ray and it was gone by the time I was like getting back to recollecting that stuff up.
Oh, I didn't even know that Scream Factory did a Blu-ray.
Yeah, like in 2014, but it's out of print and it's one of those more expensive ones to find. So Scarpad, you have the European release, right?
Right.
Does it have the commentary by Romero on it?
It does.
Okay, I got to get that then.
And it's actually
you can still get that reasonably.
Yeah, I'd say that's I think it's like $20 or something.
Yeah.
I've been waiting because I'm like, the second I fucking buy it on Region B, it's gonna fucking get a 4K. But eventually, I'll probably just get that.
I would love to hear the commentary from Romero on this film because he had difficulty with Timothy Hutton on this film.
Yeah, apparently in that commentary he goes into that detail too. Yeah.
Yeah,
but he also praised them at the same time. He said that this film worked because he was so involved with George Stark. The passion, the way he would show up. He would show up on set, have to make everybody call him George. Stay in character.
Yeah, I wasn't even sure when I was watching this movie that I didn't know he played both parts until I watched it because I hadn't seen this before. And the makeup, even with the makeup, he really makes him seem like a whole different character.
He does.
Over and above just disappearing in the makeup. If you don't know it's him, you'd swear it's somebody else playing this dude. Yeah. His performance is really good. Probably the best part of the movie.
Yeah, the Scream Factory Blu-ray has audio commentary with Romero. The Sparrows Are Flying Again, the making of The Dark Half, an all-new retrospective with Romero, special makeup effects creators, Everett Burrell.
Yeah, there's a ton of extras on it.
And deleted scenes, behind-the-scenes footage. So, man, that would have been a great Scream Factory to get. Hopefully, that's what all that stuff will transfer over if it ever gets a proper release. Because this also has a great cast. I mean, Michael Rooker, and you got, I think all of us here are.
Yeah, I felt bad for Michael Rooker, though. This movie, the cops are so incredibly bad and dumb in this movie.
Like in every horror movie we talk about.
I guess, but I think it's unusually worthless.
Think about this. The most competent cop we've ever talked about on this show is Dewey from Scream.
and he ain't that competent.
And at the end, I've been taking this too lightly. Maybe soon I'll change my mind.
You're gonna let your number one suspect in on the investigation. You know what I'm saying? What the fuck?
He was good, but yeah,
he's great in the movie, man. He is good in the movie. Everybody had a problem with Timothy though because he's a method actor, and he demanded, for instance, at one point he wanted 2 trailers, one for each character that he was playing. Man. Yeah.
I wasn't too thrilled with Amy Madigan. She's probably the weakest part of this movie as his wife. I wasn't too sold on her.
She was in Field of Dreams. That's why she got cast, right?
Yeah. Miscast, actually.
Yeah, I agree with that.
It was okay. I wasn't too thrilled with her. I was mostly there for Timothy Hutton, and I don't really know him from much, to be honest. I hadn't.
He was in that show Leverage for a long time.
No, I never.
Oddly enough, Timothy Hutton is in a similar movie to this called Secret Window.
Yes.
Which is very, very similar to this film.
Not the Johnny Depp one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was the guy messing with his wife.
Right.
That's Timothy Hutton, the one that was sleeping with Johnny Depp's wife?
I used to get that dude confused all the time with what's his name? Kevin Kline? Right? From he's in Fish Called Wanda. Is that Kevin Kline?
Kevin Kline, yeah.
And then him and the dude who was in Wings and the guy who was in Jennifer for Masters of Horror and the guy who was in The Shining, Mick Garris Shining. I always get those 3 dudes confused.
Yeah, that's the same. I think, isn't that the same guy from the Mick Garris Shining?
And depending how they shot him in this movie, he looked like one of those dudes because there are some scenes in this movie where he looks like Timothy Daly. You'd swear it was him.
Yes, exactly.
And then they shoot him from another angle. It's like Timothy Hutton again. So it's weird the way it was shot.
I was curious too because they have all that Elvis stuff going on.
I don't know what the fuck the Elvis is about.
But that gave me a lot of True Romance vibes.
That's what George Romero thought cool was in 19.
I mean, but did it have a point in the movie? Did it have a point in the movie?
That's exactly what Tarantino did with True Romance when Christian Slater's like talking to himself. He's like talking to another version of Elvis Presley.
Well, Elvis is a very okay. So like when you like if you ever read Preacher, Jesse Custer has like an imaginary friend in John Wayne. Right. In True Romance, this dude's imaginary friend is Elvis. These are iconic American pop culture figures that at that time would definitely be in a young man's mind.
Well, I guess the book, which I didn't read, but I guess this is pretty faithful to the book, except that the book, I guess, goes into more about the birds. And that's the one thing I didn't catch in the movie. And I don't know if they did that well enough, is what was up with the bird? What was their connection?
I thought the birds was like an homage to Hitchcock's The Birds.
Well, Hitchcock did it. The special effects were horrible for the birds in this movie. They looked better in the Hitchcock film than they did.
Well, they weren't terrible, but
they were terrible.
93.
They were not quite state of the art of the time. I don't think. No.
But
and then the way
Romero hated them. By the way,
and the way they the movie just abruptly ended with them going into a wormhole or something. I'm like, what was it about? Could Damien tell me what the birds, other than the birds he hears in his head, what's the point in the movie? Does anybody know?
Robbie, do you?
Well, fuck, man. I mean, really, honestly, okay, let's see. I saw this one thing where they were talking about the birds. They represent like these like spirit guardians almost from like one world to the next. Like animals in a lot of cultures are represented as the guides from this life to the afterlife, right?
So they were guiding George, the guy at the end, they were guiding him
apparently the idea is they're trying to see out which personality is going to win, and they're going to take the one who rises above back to the realm of
I get it now.
The ethereal consciousness. I don't fucking know. Something like that.
That's why that commentary would be really sweet to listen to. Because
well, it'd be cool to get Stephen King to do a commentary, because Stephen King's never really spoke too much about what he feels about this movie, which is weird because he's very opinionated on all of his movies, but he has very little to say about this one.
The only commentary I've seen Stephen King get on is Storm of the Century.
Because he was associate producer.
Because he had like 8 hours to kill.
No, because that's one of the few where that's not a book that wasn't a book he wrote. That was like an actual screen.
Yeah, he wrote it for that.
He specifically made that for the screen.
This felt like a Stephen King movie. It really did have the vibe.
Dude, it's been a while since I've seen it.
But I definitely have issues with it.
Because I haven't been able to watch it. It's probably been at least like 5 to 8 years. I could say even maybe 8 years, almost a decade since I've seen it.
I think I saw this when it first came out in 91 and 92 or something. And after that.
Because I used to have it on DVD, and I don't know if I can't remember if I lost it or.
I sold that shit when it was like $50 or something like that. It was like $50 DVD one day, and I sold it because I was like, they'll make a Blu-ray.
Right.
And then when they did, I never got it, man. And I ain't seen this one in like 15 years.
Probably. I was going to say, it's been a long time since I've seen it. It felt like a first-time watch, honestly. I didn't really remember much at all, except that Timothy Hutton plays like a writer, which that's not hard to guess because...
Wait, you tell me there's a Stephen King story about a writer?
Exactly.
That's ridiculous.
Exactly.
He's stretching.
and this guy had a pseudonym and wrote books just like Stephen King did under a pseudonym. So it's basically him.
Well, that's how he is. The only difference is it doesn't feel as much of a small town. It feels a little bit, even though they do mention Castle Rock and all that. And I know it does, like he's kind of like Rooker's supposed to be a small town, like sheriff, but it just doesn't feel as like kind of
well, they really didn't spend too much time in the town.
He's going to New York. They talk about him going to New York and all. Yeah, it's like it just doesn't feel like one of the like
it's the supporting characters. They're not as strong maybe or as prevalent in this one. Like supporting characters show up just to die, get beaten to death with their own legs and shit like that.
Eat your own dick.
Yes, there's some gnarly kills in this movie actually.
Yeah. Oh, you always saw that in Profile though. You didn't actually see it dead on, but
special effects are good in this though. That's for sure.
The ending is very good. I don't know the rest of them. But the ending, that's obviously where they spent all their money.
Rucker auditioned for the lead role in this.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and he got turned down by the studio because they didn't think big enough name.
The whole thing with this movie was George Romero trying to do another studio picture. He had just done Monkey Shines, had a terrible experience with that one, right?
Yes, terrible experience.
And Orion was under new management, so he thought maybe these new guys will be able to work it out, and had a difficult time with this one too. So that's why he never came back. These are the only two films he ever worked with Hollywood Studios for, were this one and Monkey Shines, and those are the least impressive George Romero films, in my opinion.
These two?
Yeah. Well, Monkey Shines wasn't as good as this.
What about?
But this was still better than
Diary of the Living Dead.
Survival of the Dead. I think it's
it's better than Survival. You're right about that one.
Or
I forgot
Diary.
about that one.
Or
Diary.
I don't
His
know.
later
man.
movies are horrible, man.
I didn't like
They're
Diary as much last time I watched it, but I'll still defend it more than. Okay, it's better than that one too. You're right.
I don't know if I've seen Monkey Shines.
Yeah, I saw
Oh, really?
Monkey Shines
Oh, dude, it's an interesting watch.
Yeah.
It's an interesting watch for sure. It's an interesting. That's another one that's lost.
Well, they just put that out on Blu-ray. You can get it over on Region B.
Oh, cool.
You
It
know,
just came out. And a big
It's
box set of
ridiculous,
it, too.
dude. It's about a killer helper. This dude is like he's like a quadriplegic or a paraplegic, right? And he's got a helper monkey that gets jealous of him and this other chick and like goes complete fatal attraction on him.
Yeah.
Like, that's what the movie is, dude.
The movie in the 80s, they allowed
I
to kill
remember
monkey
this
movies.
cover,
They really did.
In 88? It was in 88?
Yeah, it was right before this film, I believe.
Yeah.
Well, no, this is 93.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was in the 80s.
It's funny because I mentioned that True Romance Elvis thing, and True Romance is 93 as well. So both of these have that where they're talking to another version of themselves or talking to themselves that's Elvis, and they're both in 93. Because I thought maybe Tarantino took this from Romero, like this little idea, but they both came out in 93.
They both came out in 93, but of course this book came out in 89 and this movie was made 2 years before. It took 2 years to release this movie because Orion went bankrupt.
Oh, okay.
And so the movie got shelved for 2 years. And it's one of the reasons why I think it killed it, because the effects were already
Dated.
subpar at the time.
Yeah.
2 years later in 93,
Gonna
when
be-
Jurassic Park is out,
Right.
these effects look terrible. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They look cheesy and it feels like one of those Stephen King movies we watch on VHS or TNT.
Yeah.
You know?
Definitely. Yeah, because I would have believed that it would have came
Well,
out.
at times this movie felt
movie.
very Tales of the Dark Side to me. His TV show.
Well, it makes sense because I mean,
Yeah.
George Romero's a creator of Tales from the Dark Side, you know?
Yeah, I think I definitely would have lopped out about 15 minutes from this movie. It was a little too long. It should have been an hour and 45 would have been good.
You think about it, there's a lot of masters of horror that we talk about. We talk about their films, we talk about their work, that at that period in the very tail end of the 80s and the early bit of the 90s, when we're in the Nancy fucking Reagan era, right? And the parental advisory, NWA, all that shit's going on. And those movies get very soft. And it's hard to put Romero in a soft movie. Now, for its time, this movie's rather not soft, right? But we've seen Maniac, we've talked about on this channel. You know what I'm saying? So, and he wanted Tom Savini, but it just didn't work out with the schedule.
Oh, that would have been awesome. That would have been awesome.
Gary Oldman was another one that auditioned for this role.
Yeah, and Willem Dafoe as well. Yeah.
Dafoe.
Oh,
I would
that
have loved to see Willem Dafoe in this.
See, I don't know if they could do that because all those guys, including Rooker, are too kind of off the wall to play. They wanted a lower key guy like he was, so that would offset the bad half. And if you got kind of like a guy who's normally like off the wall, and then you see this other persona who's off the wall, you know, let's face it, Dafoe and those guys don't tone down their off the wallness that much in movies. It's still out there, so
yeah,
it was probably the best choice, I think.
Yeah, Hutton did a great job. This is the first time watch for Two Gun, he said.
Then he's looking up the Blu-ray and finds out it's $100. The Scream Factory one. If you got a region-free player, Two Gun, which I'm assuming you do because You are a true horror nut. You know what I'm saying? You're a true DHS crew guy.
Yeah, and he did send us Triangle, which was Region B. So
Yeah, man.
he was like,
cheaper one.
He was probably like, "You're shit out of luck, guys. Not sending you a copy of Dark Half when it's $100."
No, that's okay.
I wouldn't have. Yeah, like I said, I'm praying for a 4K or from Vinegar or even I would take.
I don't know. In this day and age, man, hold on to whatever physical media you can, y'all. I do not trust these corporations with our media. And what we've done with streaming is we have given our media choice over to these corporations. I'm not cool with that, man.
Yeah, you're right. Not cool with it either.
Physical media. That's why you buy it. And like, fuck it. I'm collecting VHS. I don't know. One day the apocalypse is going to happen, and I hope these VHS come in handy. I don't fucking know.
I love it.
Fucking Robbie's going to be in a bunker with a can of beans and his horror movies and comics.
I'll be like, you drop off some food or some other service, and you can come for the show tonight.
I love it when there's like shitty weather out and
I got Brooks on a bike powering up the fucking projector.
That's what when the weather's shitty and the Wi-Fi goes out or something, or they're doing like an update and the Wi-Fi's out all day. I'm like, this is why I got physical media, baby. And I pop in a Blu-ray because everyone's like, what do I do? The streaming service won't work without Wi-Fi.
You're like, oh, you had Paramount. They got rid of all your Star Trek movies. Oh, that's so sad. Just own them. Fuck.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Blu-ray, baby. The money, though.
The only thing I think that this movie, I don't think it was a little convoluted. I think around the actual Dark Half itself, where I guess they didn't want you to know. I mean, is he a doppelganger? Is he a ghost? You know, he's physically there, but then he's not there. I think that was a little not spelled out. The definitions of the universe this guy lived in wasn't spelled out. Everybody could apparently see him and not see him. And
yeah, I was a little confused.
I was a little confused on all that. They didn't spell out the universe too well.
Well, there is that one moment though where the chick, the old lady, like spells it all out in one scene, right? She's basically like, this is something that's like sprung out from the fucking ether world, the collective unconscious or something like that. Like
he kind of created it in his mind.
Yeah, but they do what Scarpad's saying is relevant because they do spend a lot of the time where they're like, oh, it's him. Oh, is it him? And it's like they're playing with it. Like, just fucking go with it then if that's what you're going to do.
And then they're talking about he had a twin, but the twins get eaten sometimes.
Well, that's the thing. That was a cool scene with the eyeball. That was a cool scene.
Yeah, that was dope.
And the teeth are in there. But that doesn't really even figure into the movie much, really. He finds out they buried it in a shoebox or something. He gave it back to the parents in the shoebox.
Well, I guess the idea of it is if you think about like what we know about Stephen King and shit, is like I guess the soul or the essence of this unborn twin that was considered a tumor and exorcised out of his body physically never got exorcised out abstractly, right? Like, and so when they officially kill him off, it causes this sever that like causes it to have independence. And I don't know. I want to
know if you really had an eyeball in your brain, could they remove it?
Well, they do. Yeah, there's shit like that happens, right?
Yeah.
Where there's like, I don't know if there's eyeballs in people's brains and shit and teeth or whatnot, but they're like there are people that like have failed twins in them and they have shit.
Right, it gets absorbed in, yeah, but not.
Or just a tumor that will start growing like a tooth or some shit like that.
Well, that's what Basket Case was, really.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Well, let me ask a question. Maybe Robbie can. I'd like to pick Robbie's brain on this one because maybe so the eye and the brother and the head and the skull and all that, you know, and of course the parallels between George Stark being like Elvis and from Memphis and all that. You know, Elvis had a twin brother that died at birth. Do you think that's any of that is intentional in this film?
Could be.
I've never read the book, but if it's in the book, it's 100% intentional, right? Because there's a lot of Elvis kind of references in King's work, and that might be one
Yeah.
I'm
sure
an
inspiration.
King knows that. I guarantee King knows that too.
Could have been inspiration for sure.
Yeah, Elvis' twin brother Jesse died at birth.
Definitely having
That's
a
an
twin.
interesting connection to make, Billy. That's really cool. I like that.
I forgot that he had a twin too.
Yeah, because why? Other than that, why? Obviously the guy's from down south, but why just play Elvis all the time? So yeah, that's a good catch.
So there's 2 Elvis movies in a row. Dylan, is that what we're doing here?
Yeah, I didn't even. It's been so long since I've seen this. I didn't even know about that. I totally forgot about it. It's like it almost felt like a first time watch for me.
And he's basically just some kind of 50s greaser, right? But like then you have the Elvis like song in there and all that shit, right? Wait, the Elvis song's in this one, right?
And where he
the other thing I was gonna ask is why was his physical the bad guy, why was he getting progressively worse looking? What was causing that?
It's something like because only one of them can exist.
Yeah.
So he has to take over.
I thought like you ever see in some of those movies, like when the other like you said, like only one of them can exist, where they have like a twin, and then when they get separated, the one starts to like decay because they don't have like everything that they need. And I guess like you'd say that kind of just where only one of them can exist, so the one's gonna start deteriorating. So yeah, I guess a kind of dumbass question.
Yeah. But the thing is, at the end of the movie, the birds ultimately do the dark half in. They rip them to shreds and carry them off. It's not what Timothy Hutton did to him, because he survived that and he was about to jump on Timothy Hutton. So if they were going to come in the end and save him anyways, I don't understand the whole point really as much, because they did ultimately save Timothy Hutton from this guy.
It says that the sparrows are psychopomps, creatures that guide spirits between the material world and the spiritual realm, like Robbie said.
Psychopomp.
At the end, Thad uses a bird call to summon the sparrows, which attack his house and tear Stark up and carry him off to.
I didn't notice that. I didn't know she used a bird, but maybe he did.
So I guess those sparrows or birds tear Stark up and carry him off to another spiritual plane.
Right. Okay.
John, what did the back of the car say? High tone.
I forget what the guy. I know the license plate.
The theme of this book is you never know when you can turn on yourself and others around you.
Yeah, I know the back license plate said something, but I forget what it said.
It said high tone son of a bitch.
What did it say?
High tone son of a bitch.
Oh, okay,
that was called Black Beauty.
Yeah, so the car is nice.
That's a green.
He had something I thought though that said like Black Beauty, like a pen or something. I forget.
What beauty? It might have said. I remember high tone son of a bitch.
Overall, what did you think of the movie, Billy?
I liked it. I felt it got off kind of slow. I definitely appreciate Timothy Hutton's performance from the George Stark perspective. You can tell what he was going for, because you could see like that he carries this character with him. There's anger and there's hostility and there's a dark half to this college professor, this family guy with 2 kids that he buries deep and that he lets loose through his work. And he even talks about it. Yeah. It's an outlet, and his wife is scared of him when he's writing the books because the character is coming out, and how much of that is a writer writing and how much of that is just this evil twin, this evil brother that lives in him. Maybe it's a bit of both. Maybe the brother lives on through the writing. Maybe the writing keeps the brother alive. Maybe the writing keeps the entity alive. It's a lot of questions you can ponder there. And I think, like some of the best movies are open-ended like that, to where you get to guess and think and come to your own conclusion about that. It's very parallel to me to Secret Window. Secret Window is a great movie that I'm very, very fond of.
I always liked Secret Window as well. I did recently watch it though, and there are a couple things. It's not a perfect movie by any means, but I have always enjoyed that movie. I love Johnny Depp, and great to see Johnny Depp kind of not have to be in a costume or in all that makeup. So I enjoy seeing Johnny Depp play like himself from time to time. So I'll have to review that one at some point and get you on for that.
Oh yeah, look, Secret Window has like one of the best lines I think of any movie that I've ever seen, and that's all that matters is the ending. Like, I love that line. He's eating the corn, and the sheriff says we're going to get him, and he's typing, and he's like, all that matters is the ending. Like, I love that. This is funny.
Hutton's in that one too. I didn't even know that Timothy Hutton was in that.
Yep, he's in that one.
Great in that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but no, I like this movie. I like The Dark Half. Slow at parts, but you get good payoffs when George Stark is on there. You get good payoffs when he made me laugh a couple times. So I guess I have to punt when he's killing that guy in the hallway. That's funny to me. Made me laugh. I don't know why that made me laugh, but I don't know what that says about me. But overall, I was entertained by this film.
Hell yeah. Trust me, man. We laugh at a lot of fucked up shit we probably shouldn't laugh at in movies. Robbie, overall, what did you think of the Dark Half, though, brother?
Well, I didn't like it as much as I liked it. I didn't like it as much as I remembered liking it. You know, I saw some more of its flaws. Like, it does have some uneven pacing, I think, at certain times. Some of those special effects don't really quite hold up. I don't even think at the time maybe they did. But the performance by Hutton's really solid. The basic premise of the story is pretty solid. Michael Rooker is awesome in the film. Yeah. Some of the gore effects are really gnarly in the film. So I do like it. I think it's an underappreciated Stephen King adaptation, but I do think it's a weak Romero film, and I don't think it's bad, but I don't think it's great. I think it's pretty solid, though. I do think it's pretty solid.
Man, if the studios didn't fuck with Romero, maybe he'd have.
That's what it is, and Romero just doesn't work well with the studio.
Nah.
You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't happen because Romero's one of those renegade filmmakers who wants to do it his way, and that's what makes his movies as good as they are.
Yeah. So. I agree. It sucks too, because when you see like the potential and you're like, if you guys would have just left him the fuck alone, you know what I mean? We might have got something really spectacular. It's like, look what happened with Creepshow, guys. It's like, leave the man alone and let him work. Let him be. It's like you put your money into it, you're gonna either get your money back or you're fucking not. It's like you guys putting your 2 cents isn't gonna change anything. But they always gotta ruin shit and make it fucking Holly. They gotta make it.
Well, they're probably concerned because they probably think a Stephen King audience is a certain kind of audience, and the movie has to appeal. The movie has to appeal to people who want to see Carrie and all those other movies. So they don't want them to get too carried away.
Right. So, what did you think, Scarpetta, overall?
Yeah, I mean, this is really the first time I've seen it in a long time, and I vaguely remembered it. I thought it was pretty good. I mean, I think it's a solid Stephen King movie. I think it may be more solid than a lot of his other movies that were adapted. I agree that the direction is pretty solid too, but he needed to chop about 15 minutes out of this, make it a little bit tighter. I think the running time has a lot of the reason why it feels long, because it does feel long. And there's some scenes that could be cut. I mean, like Robbie brought up that woman that basically was just there for exposition to tell you the fucking plot of the story, and then I still didn't get it, so it didn't even work out. But I mean, they could have cut like 10 minutes out of it, tightened up a little bit more, maybe got around a little bit more to the actual retribution scenes a little quicker. I think it would have been better. But I certainly enjoyed the movie. It was a good watch. I didn't care for the music all that much. This was Christopher Young, and it's very unmemorable. I didn't think much of this. But the movie itself, I think
it's just not very prevalent at
times. Pretty decent Stephen King. The performances are great, and Timothy Hutton was fantastic in it. So
also, if you don't notice the score, that doesn't mean that it's bad. Sometimes you don't.
Overall, I
notice
enjoyed it. I just think I have other Stephen King movies where I have more fun with it.
I think just
going back to, if you want to
movie
compare
this is,
there's two movies. I think this movie, if you want to do a comparison on fun versus a similar type of feel and money and everything, this movie with the one that we did. What was the one we did with the vampire flying his airplane? What was the name of that movie again?
Night Flyer.
Night Flyer.
I fucking love that movie.
That movie was more fun than this movie.
That was like an HBO Max.
But it was meant to go in the theater. They just picked it up.
Yeah,
and I kind of compared to
movie.
maybe this a little bit. But I had more fun with the Night Flyer than I did with this one.
Is great.
But I still enjoyed it. Still enjoyed the watch.
Yeah, I love the Night Flyer, man. Such an underrated movie.
That's really underrated, I think.
Another one I really love is Sometimes They Come Back. I love that movie.
Yeah, we should do that one. I haven't seen that in ages.
I was trying to think of some movies for the future, and I can't believe I didn't think of that for a certain month.
Sometimes They Come Back. Was it Rob Lowe?
It's the fucking guy from Freddy 2.
It was Rob Lowe.
Tim Matheson and Robert Russler.
Oh, okay. Tim Matheson. Animal House.
Yeah.
Look at the size.
Robert Russler. He's from Vamp, which is a great vampire movie, and then he's from Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2. Okay. And Tom McLaughlin directed that, which another guy I enjoy. He's a good director. He directed Friday the 13th, Part 5 or 6. Jason Lives, the one when he comes back as a zombie. I love that.
Sometimes They Came Back. It was a TV movie, I believe, right?
Sometimes They Come Back. I believe it was a
TV movie, yeah. Okay.
I always think the poster, though, makes it look like it did come out in theaters, but I think it was
a TV movie, yeah. Not that bad.
No, I've always enjoyed that movie. But yeah, I'd say the Dark Half, I definitely enjoyed it. It's been a long time since I've seen it. I think it is definitely I never hear talked about. I don't love it by any means. Like I'm not in love with it. I do really enjoy it though. I really enjoy it. It is definitely, it's probably top 10, maybe Stephen King movies. I'd have to put out all the movies. I'd have to see the list because there's so many, but I think
don't know who would make top 10, maybe top 20.
Maybe like top 12, 13 or something.
Yeah.
Hutton does a great job. It could be trimmed a little because it is a little slower at times, but I do love, that dark half, that the two sides of a coin type story. And I'm not very familiar with Hutton, so that I think he held it great. I didn't know that he was one of those, I'm going to stay in character and want 2 fucking trailers for each character. But I think he did do great. Michael Rooker is fantastic as always. I love him, even if he is a little goofy cop. I thought he was great. It's definitely a good movie, but I definitely will always think like, what if, Romero got to do what he really wanted with some things, and if they'd gotten Tom Savini, because dude, the practical effects, I think there's some like the makeup on the evil version of him or the other version of him. I think there's some great practical effects in this, but Savini would have, for the money that whatever the guy that did these got paid, Savini knew how to work with nothing. So I'd have loved to see Savini get in this. And it's crazy to see that Romero not get Savini, because Romero always had Savini in I'd say probably like 75% of his movies. I mean, it was like a duo with them back in the day. So it's great to see King and Romero come back together for sure, but it would have been awesome to see, Savini come, especially since he worked on Creepshow with them, and I would have liked the fucking, the producers and, the people funding the movie, to probably leave Romero the fuck alone and let the fucking master do what he does. But I definitely still enjoy it. And I think it is a very enjoyable watch. And I enjoyed coming back and watching it because it has been a long time. And I definitely.
Oops, the budget was $15 million. The gross worldwide was only $10 million.
Wow.
Oops.
But Stephen King was a very hit or miss back then too, and you know, I don't know how big Romero's name was to people back in the day. You know what I mean? To like
big
major horror fans, yes, but like to the main public,
no.
Like how big was Romero's name? You know, to us, like if we were living in the 90s, like we hear Romero and King, we're like, I'm there day one.
Right.
But if I went and told my fiance, I was like, you know, George Romero, she'd be like, who the fuck is that? I'd be like, name off 10 movies. She'd be like, oh, I know those. You know what I mean? You know the movies, but you don't know the master behind them.
Yeah, most people don't know the directors and shit.
Exactly.
Just us freaks.
Exactly. But yeah, I think you should, because you don't get these movies without their master direction. But yeah, I definitely enjoyed it. And I definitely will be watching it again at some point before hopefully Amazon keeps it for a while. But I do hope it gets a physical release at some point, because, oh my God, I want to listen to that audio commentary. I really want to hear Romero dive into that. But yeah, I guess we could probably give it a rating, and maybe if Robbie wants to say what he thinks it meant. I know we kind of mentioned that, but if you want to do a little deep dive for a second, that's up to you.
I mean, that's obvious, man. It's about duality. It's about the duality of man, right? It's about that we all have like these various sides about us, right? And the one thing I don't like about the movie is that it's the basic premise seems to be, at least in the studio ending of this film, we have to kill off this shadow dark side of ourselves. And really what we need to do is learn to embrace and integrate it within our own personality. So I do think it kind of falters there, but at the same time, this is a novel that was, I think, one of the last ones Stephen King wrote as an alcoholic. So it's kind of like him exercising that demon. So those are the demons we need to exercise.
And that would make sense too.
Yeah. So that's what it's about. It's about that duality. And I do think it's not as nuanced with how it deals with it as other things can be, but I do think that it's a pretty cut and dry scenario, right? So yeah.
Bobby gives it 4 slips, 2 slips for each twin.
Nice.
Yeah, what's up, Fairpoint? He said, yes, good movie. Glad you enjoyed it. And yeah, Michael Rooker is always a fantastic bad guy, that's for sure. Didn't know about George Romero until I saw PCP. That checks out, because Robbie loves some Romero. So yeah, anybody in the chat, if you guys were able to check out The Dark Half, throw your rating down below. You know how we roll, 1 to 5. And it looks like Chill Out gave it a 3.6. Bobby, you want to kick us off? What did you think, brother? What's your rating? Bobby.
There's nobody on this panel named Bobby, brother.
Bobby.
Billy.
I was waiting though. Who the fuck is Bobby?
I'll be Bobby. That's fine. I'll be Bobby.
Ricky Bobby. What's your
I like, for the second time though, Dylan was like, Bobby.
I know.
Bobby?
Bobby.
King of the Hill? Damn it,
Bobby.
Bobby.
You talking to Bobby De La Ghetto out there in the chat? Is that what we're waiting
on? Ricky Bobby.
Oh, Bobby.
Ricky Bobby over here.
I wonder how much Carl Jung, the shadow work was influenced by this.
Bobby.
Yeah, there's Bobby. Hell, Bobby. What's going on, Bobby? I'll give it a 3. I'll give it a high 3 on this. I would have liked to have seen Thad be more of a straight, play the straight man a little bit more. You know, like he was. You see a lot of the character in him, and the duality. I would have liked to have seen Thad just a little bit more, just a little bit more lighter, you know, and innocent. And you could tell, you know, he's not a very innocent guy. You know, he's writing all this stuff and he likes it, and he likes to let it out through his work. That being said, I didn't hate his performance as Thad, and I really liked George Stark. Anytime George Stark was on the screen, you're mesmerized by his performance. So, you know, but I'll give it a high 3.
High 3. All right. Bobby, what do you think? I mean, Robbie.
Well, I agree with Bobby, aka Billy. I'll give it a 3.
It's Ricky Bobby.
Okay, I'll give it a 3. I think it's underappreciated. I think it deserves other looks. It's something I would like to own. It's part of the George Romero catalog. I want to own every single one of George's films. It's not one of my favorites of his, but it's definitely not the weakest. And it's an underappreciated Stephen King adaptation. And it has some characters or some performers in there that he'll work with again, including the dude who's accused or who finds out that Hutton's got like this alter ego, right? Which is based on a Stephen King thing. So it's better than a lot of Stephen King adaptations, but it's not as good as some George Romero films. But I do like it. I do appreciate it. It does run a little bit long. Some of the effects are great. Some of the effects are not. So to me, it's a pretty good, just solid film for its time. That's 3 you digs for me.
3. All right. So we got 2 3s. Scarphead. I mean, Ricky Bobby.
Bobby. Yeah, I was going to give it a 3. I'm going to bump it up a quarter just for Timothy Hutton's performance. And he was great. And I think he elevated the movie higher than the movie warranted. So I'm going to give it a 3.25.
3.25. All right.
Yeah, about right in the middle.
Man, talk about shout out fucking Mike for that awesome thumbnail, bro. That fucking thumbnail was sick.
I think that's from the Scream Factory, isn't it?
Probably.
I don't know. I know that the Scream Factory has like the classic artwork, just like the all black with the purple, but I mean, that could have been the reverse artwork. I don't know. I'd probably go 3.5 on this. I enjoyed it a lot. And I did really enjoy like the evil version, you know, or the second half of him. And I definitely been a long time since I watched it. So first time watch, I definitely enjoyed it. Like my brother Ev said, you know, I wish it maybe 15 minutes shorter. But yeah, I go probably 3.5. You know, I think it's very underrated, and it's last time Romero and King worked together. So I give it a little. I think maybe I'd go 3.25, but I gotta give that a little bump because you got the masters working together. So I'll go 3.5. So 2 3s, 3.25, 3.5 from me, 3.5 from Evan, 3 from Two Gun. 3.69 from Chill Out, and Bobby gave it a 4. 2 slips for each twin.
High praise.
Hey,
how do you think this movie would have been?
That would be
he's a big Elvis fan. It looks like
that would be an 8 slip.
He don't work on January 8th.
That'd be an 8 slips though. There are 2 sets of twins in this movie. They're the 2 babies, and then there's.
Oh. Well, he said I think he gave it a 2 for each twin.
Oh, 2 for you. Oh, I misread that.
What would you think if the evil guy was played by Jim Carrey? It's kind of like a mask type of thing, you know?
It would have been a little bit
awesome.
Probably too overboard, man. I don't know.
Well, he can dial it down.
The babies
he can dial it down.
Acting.
That's back when he was doing those fucking Majestic movies, trying to be serious. Maybe he could have been serious. You know?
It wasn't at that point yet. We're still in living color time right now.
No, 91?
93.
Yes, brother.
Yeah.
When was the Majestic?
movie was released in 93.
Like late? Was that early 2000s?
Yeah, Scarpad, dude. I know, man. I know. The older we get, like time, it's weird, man.
Truman Show. When was the Truman Show? Was that?
It was like 97, 98, brother.
Really?
Wasn't this around when he did Man on the Moon?
That's like 99, man.
That's true. When was he in Batman Returns? Was that 93? Batman Returns?
Batman Returns is 1992.
Yes,
Batman, he's not in.
He's in Forever, which is 1995.
Oh, Batman, yeah, Forever, yeah. What was
95?
That was 95. Holy shit! I thought it was earlier than that.
And Perry gives it a 3.0. Dang, I didn't know you watched it. You should have popped in. I sent you the link, brother. but
Don't put
Perry
Perry
gives
on
it a
blast like that,
3.0.
man. What's wrong with you?
Well, no, they've only had
For real
a
though, Perry, why the
69
fuck
scene
are
with
you
the
not here?
sheriff. So two threes, 2 high threes, as Billy said, high 3, 3.25, 3.5. I'd say we got an average score of 3.269. I think it's right around there, bro. I think
Did you say
that's spot on.
3.269?
3.269.
Yeah, that's fair. I think that's very fair for this.
I think that's fair.
Yeah, I think that's more than fair, honestly. I think it's fun. And Timothy Hutton is the star of the movie. Michael Rooker does a great job as well. Everybody else can suck a dick for the most part. Like, I don't know. There's some other people that are like good in the movie, like character actors and shit, like the old guy who's like the Western dude. This is like his final movie. I can't remember his name right now.
Royal Dano.
Royal Dano, yeah.
A lot of Westerns.
Yeah. And you know, the thing about it being kind of long and like George Romero had a fight with the studio over this movie. George Romero, we know George Romero's work. This dude wanted this movie to be 15 minutes longer, you know, and maybe that would have actually worked out. Sometimes it's not the length, it's the pace. Right?
It was 15 more minutes of the birds picking the fucking skeleton apart.
Yeah, but maybe a longer cut could add something to it. I don't think that would be the case here. I do think Romero, as much as I love him, overextends himself in his films and with his edits. He's a great editor, but he like lets his movie. He's like Oasis. I love Oasis, but they don't know how to end a fucking song. You know what I'm saying? It just keeps kind of fucking going and going.
Did you feel the movie ended too abruptly?
It ended abruptly and it took a while to get there. Right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, the end was like done, gone, credits.
Yeah. No reporters. So how are they going to wrap up all their murders? I mean,
it's like if Warren Ellis had 60 pages per comic to write. That's what it would feel like. It took forever to get there, and it just ended like that.
Yeah, shout out Perry. And Perry is a busy man, that's for sure. Gifted 5 Dylan's Horror Show memberships.
What does that mean? Like somebody, like 5 people can can sign up now?
I looked in the chat on YouTube. It says Billy Powermax was gifted a membership by Perry Comics. Compton was gifted a membership by Perry Comics.
What do I get?
Gifted a membership. Sean 420 was gifted.
Are you sending me something, Dylan? Send me a fucking video or something.
Listen.
What?
I won something. I got a membership, man.
You did? I don't see your name.
I know. They didn't give me nothing. I get nothing, man. Nothing.
Not only am I on the show, I'm also a member.
The important thing about the memberships is that supports Dylan directly, right? So there you go. We don't even have memberships on PCP, man.
It's just a way of doing a super chat, kind of, I guess.
Yeah, it's like an ongoing.
Perry, you are the man, brother. Yeah, I think I just set up the memberships when I got monetized. So
I need to set up mine, but I just was like, I don't have. What am I supposed to give these guys?
You don't give them anything.
Apparently, it works for Dylan.
No, you don't. You don't give them anything. The gift is the membership.
And it's just, it had me click something saying allow gifts. You could receive a 1-month membership to channels you interact with.
No shit, man. That was allow GIFs. You're gonna get fucking porno GIFs on your shot now.
GIFs.
I think you said GIFs.
Trading cards, Robbie. Trading cards for your new book. Do that for your gifts.
But I wonder, did Perry specifically gift it, or did it just like randomly gift it?
No, you have to specifically gift it.
There's
a way to go in and do it.
Well, as always, Perry, thanks for the support, my brother. My man's always sending a super chat or gifting motherfuckers memberships, man. He's too awesome. Now that's the man right there. Oh, he said it's random.
Oh, really?
Oh, so congratulations to Billy, Ben.
Somebody's gonna wake up tomorrow and be like, "What the fuck is Dylan's horror show?"
For being the winners of the gifted memberships.
Woo.
I'm a winner.
You're a winner, chicken dinner, brother.
Yeah. Jigs is giving away iPads. What the fuck? I'd be cheating, man.
Motherfucker got the goddamn Apple Pro Vision coming. You talking about it? We got 3 of them.
Regardless.
Fucking so that will conclude the Dark Half review. Next week we got a double feature coming out.
No, really?
Dude, shut up.
2 movies?
Act like you got work.
I barely got fucking through this one.
Bro, you've already seen the movies. Just
I have to
shut
watch
up
them.
when we talk.
What are they, man?
I'm watching Bond movies every week with you.
That's one
You don't
movie.
hear me complaining.
You had one that just did really good, by the way, For Your Eyes Only.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
your
I had
numbers
another
on that
one
are
that
pretty
did
good, man. The movie sucks, but the review's doing well.
Oh, bro, I love For Your Eyes Only.
Not top flight.
I do.
Top
I
flight.
haven't.
It's right up there.
Well, this week we got what is it? The Sean Connery one.
Never Say Never Again.
Never Say Never
Oh,
Again.
you're doing the remake of Thunderball?
Yeah. Perry loved Thunderball. So Perry, if you got time, bro, that Never Say
All right, Robbie, right now, favorite
remake
Roger
of
Moore
Thunderball, which
movie.
that was like Perry's favorite. So if you get the chance, Perry, Monday we're doing
My
Never
favorite Spy Love Me. Which one is yours?
My favorite.
We just did
either
Octopus.
Live or Let Die or The Man with the Golden Gun.
Really?
I love The Man with the Golden Gun.
Well, the Man with the Golden Gun would be my best villain. I love that.
Live or
villain.
Let Die would be. Isn't that Roger Moore's first one?
Live and Let
Yes.
Die is, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That
But-
would be your favorite. Oh man,
Out
I,
of the
like-
Roger Moore ones,
Yeah, I just think Spy Love Me was his high point.
I was gonna say, dude.
a lot of people think that. I don't like Spy Who Loved Me. I don't know.
Really?
It's just me, man. For Your Eyes Only is not bad.
Jaws.
I like
Beauty
Beauty
and
and
the
the
Fucking Hot
I
Wife.
Love Me is my favorite one, and then I'd probably go Man with a Golden Gun, and then Moonraker.
Yeah, my guilty pleasure is Moonraker because I saw that when that was
I will tell you all this. I like both Timothy Dalton ones better than any Roger Moore one.
Okay,
So
but
I don't
we're
know
not
if I'm
talking
the
about
person you need to talk about.
Okay, Live and Let Die. You think is the best one of? What do you think for you,
He
Billy?
said
What's
a
your-
Roger Moore though.
Roger Moore. I just said Roger
My
Moore.
favorite Roger Moore is the Living Daylights.
That's not Roger Moore.
What's your favorite? What's your favorite 007 period or Connery? What's your favorite Connery one?
Who, me?
Yeah,
My favorite Connery one is obviously probably Goldfinger.
Yeah, Goldfinger.
Like Goldfinger and Casino Royale, I think are the two best Bond films.
Well, he wasn't in the second one.
I know. I'm just saying overall, I think those are the
no,
two.
I said overall. I said
Yeah,
Connery.
because I will say Casino Royale is definitely.
Casino Royale is my number one.
is
And
definitely,
I don't want to be that guy because I want to go classic Connery, but Casino Royale is
Well, I mean
really
that's
well-made
that's
movie.
Daniel Craig's best Bond movie, but that's not saying much.
You're going to see Oppenheimer? Isn't that's not in theaters still?
I think Oppenheimer is still in theaters. Yes,
It's
What?
right now.
it's still in my theater down here. Yeah.
I was
Because
gonna
of the
say,
Oscar love of Oppenheimer,
No,
Tenet's getting an IMAX re-release. By the
I
way,
heard
at the end of
that.
the month.
I heard
So
that.
I'll finally get to see it in the theater. I'm
Don't
excited.
sleep on Godzilla -0 minus color. Awesome.
Oh, it's re-released in my theater. Nice. Yeah, no, I saw it in theaters. It was a good theater watch, but it's long, bro. But he saw Napoleon, so he's up for it.
I'm gonna watch eventually. I never knew that like an Oppenheimer movie would have like massive sex scenes in it. So what the fuck am I gonna watch?
Florence Pugh is so goddamn
That's-
hot.
that-
Who would have thought? Who would
That's
have
why
thought?
I went.
I'm
That's
not
why I
watching my
went.
Oppenheimer.
I remember watching
For
that
fucking
shit in
20 years,
IMAX
it's
and being
in
like,
there.
every beat of sweat is the size of my head right now, bro. I could.
What,
I
they
would-
knew the movie's subject matter was kind of dull. They spiced it up, and that's good.
Well, that's why I went. I was in it for Florence Pugh, and that's it.
Everybody's talking about the Barbie snubs. No, Florence Pugh got snubbed at the
Yep.
Academy Awards. How about that?
That's for sure. Yeah, do a few lines, you'll be good.
That's
But,
it.
I can't watch movies when I'm on coke, man. I just want to go on to do
Just
something.
jitter.
What about
Just want to do
Pepsi?
some more coke. But yeah, so next Saturday we'll be doing, which is actually a pick from my brother Evan that
Okay.
we were supposed to do a while back, but then
This was my pick, by the way. you
this was
motherfucker.
Scarpad's pick. Yeah, I
No
forgot.
more fucking Battleground bullshit. I picked this.
Ah, this was nice, Scarpad. This was a good
Battleground's
pick,
still a
man.
bad fucking movie, but hey.
This was a
Go
good
ahead.
pick, man.
It was a good pick. And I
But you
was
didn't
really
like it as
glad he
much as
picked it.
Burial Ground.
No, hell no. I don't like any movie better than Battleground.
It's better than Bloodsucking Freaks, I'll tell you that. I don't remember. I don't even know who the fuck picked that one. I think it was Dylan. But like, whoever picked that one, like
Melphis, man.
actually, thank you. Thank you. Like, that's the worst movie I've ever seen, Bloodsucking Freaks.
Exactly.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that.
I know, and it has I proudly own that Blu-ray.
I do too.
I'll watch it again.
I,
He
watch
probably
Burial
owns
Ground
the
again,
4K.
4K.
I mean, watch this. Next time I watch
owns
Burial
4K.
Ground,
I
I'm
got
gonna
the
fucking
4K.
love it.
I see every fucking hair on Ralphus's head.
But so next
We ain't got
Saturday,
goddamn Dark Half on a fucking Blu-ray right now, but we got goddamn Burial Ground.
right? We got Burial
Bloodsucking
Ground,
Freaks.
and
Burial Ground's
we
coming
got
out with a
Bloodsucking
4K.
Freaks on 4K.
4K limited edition big box sets coming out for Burial Ground soon.
Yeah,
So keep it in mind.
dude, Bloodsucking Freaks got a gorgeous 4K box set
can't
from Vinegar
fucking
Syndrome.
believe
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Fucking Eli Roth loves that.
But Dead
Goddamn.
Alive still isn't on 4K yet.
Goddamn fucking bullshit. Man.
But yeah,
You know, I'm gonna be in
chill,
the
man.
same
when
room as
that,
Eli
when that
Roth the
4K
weekend now,
comes
by the
out,
way.
we're gonna do another review on it.
Yeah, soon. In March, yeah.
Yep, in March we're doing another review on it. So if you want to join us, brother, let us know.
No, I'm good.
But
I don't know.
so
Maybe we'll see.
next Saturday we got my little brother's pick, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the remake with Jessica Biel, and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre New Beginning, the prequel sequel. So
I'm not going to be here next week because I'll be in
watch
MegaCon, chilling with Bueller and Spilio and hopefully Eli Roth. We're going to see if we can get Eli Roth to come to Twin Peaks with us. How? I don't know, but we're damnedest we're going to try.
Dude, you know his Thanksgiving's coming out on Blu-ray this week too.
Very pumped for that, dude. But I will tell you this. We just did the entire TCM franchise at Horror Fest for PCP movie night, right? I don't like the remake still, but I do like the prequel to the remake.
I love them both.
It's weird. Yeah. I like the beginning for some reason.
Like months ago, Evan wanted me to review them, and Mike had made a thumbnail for him, so we'll finally get to do that. So
what was the one me and you just watched a little while ago, Dylan?
The
third
3D. The 3D.
Oh, the 3D one. Yeah, that was pretty weak.
I like that one. Actually. Texas Chainsaw 3D. I like that one.
I like it too. There's just some stuff that's a little goofy, but I wish
that's the Texas Chainsaw Massacre franchise. There's really only one good solid.
I just wish the mask was better on him.
Why is he a woman? Why is he dressed up as like a woman in that one?
Because that's Greg Nicotero. Greg Nicotero and them did the effects for that.
No.
At the end of at the end of the first movie, he's like puts on the lipstick and shit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like the 3D one too. And Jessica Biel can get it, Perry. That's for damn sure.
Oh, she's hot as fuck.
Still get it.
There's some hot bodies in that movie. I'm going to tell you that.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, and then the second one has the New Beginning has Dominic Toretto's sister in it. So, and she's hot as hell too.
Sure does. Yeah, it does.
Yeah, she's hot.
I love how we never remember her character's name from Fast and Furious, and we never remember the actor's name. But we just know that it's Dom Toretto's sister.
Poor chick's gonna spend the rest of her career sitting next to an empty fucking chair.
Yeah, Jordana Brewster. But yeah, Mia, that's her name, Mia Toretto. I only know because I love Fast and Furious. I always was a huge Paul Walker fan.
I like those movies too, man. I'm ready for.
I love them.
Part 10, Part 2.
Yeah.
Every time they sit down for dinner, the dude's always somewhere else. The fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, next week, Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake with Jessica Biel. Which what is that? 2004? I want 2004, 2006, and then the sequel, prequel, Texas Chainsaw Massacre New Beginning. Next.
Hold on a second. So. The New Beginning was I haven't seen that one. That's a prequel to the.
It's a sequel. It's a sequel that it came out after, but it's technically a prequel. So that's why I call it a prequel sequel.
So should I watch that one first?
No, watch the remake first, then watch the beginning.
Yeah,
it's not New Beginning; it's the beginning.
It's not gonna. You're not gonna miss it's not.
So the beginning doesn't lead into the first one.
No.
You need to watch them in production order, man.
Oh, I see.
Sometimes you can do it.
Because there's things that they just kind of like that they fill in, like so. I would watch the Jessica Biel one first, and then the New Beginning. That's the way that they came out. I've never watched like the New Beginning and then that one because
the beginning.
It's not like a linear story. It's just that
Texas Chainsaw, the next generation.
Yeah,
that's part 4.
4.
That's part 4. Which is really bad, but pretty awesome.
McConaughey's awesome in it.
Exactly.
but I fucking cannot stand
I cannot think of another. There is no horror franchise out there as random as the Texas Chainsaw franchise.
I love the one with Viggo Mortensen too, but that one's
That's part
not.
3.
That one, Leatherface.
I find something to like in all of them, but except for Leatherface. Leatherface sucks.
The prequel, like the origin.
Yeah, the 2017 one or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, that
is a piece of shit. Is what that
one's
is.
Weird. Yeah, I love the original and the second one though. Yeah. I love the fucking second one.
By the way, if anybody has time, if you want to, before next week, go check out the PCP Movie Night Texas Chainsaw Massacre franchise review we did. That just to watch Brooks have to suffer through so many movies because I don't think he liked any of them except for the first one. So it's a great conversation. It's me, Brooks, Jelani, and Joe Corallo. And I think Verna was there as well. It was a really, really great show. We went through all 9 of those fucking movies.
How can people hate on number 2?
2 is great. Movie. Yeah, Brooks and Jelani were the only ones that didn't like 2. And we're like, I still have a contentious relationship with both of them because of that. They may not be invited to my birthday party this year.
In many ways, 2 is better than 1.
Friendship, right?
They didn't like Funhouse. They didn't like TCM 2. Like, get the fuck out of here. I don't need that kind of negativity in my life.
You're really working hard to keep that friendship together because I'd have cut ties.
I wanted to invite Robbie to your birthday party.
Twin Peaks, Huntsville, Alabama. Let's do it.
All right.
See, Perry's with me. TCM2.
Yeah, I love it, dude. It's great. Like when we covered it here for the first time, I was more down on it than when I rewatched it. Every time I watch that movie, I love it more. I really do.
That bitch, Leatherface. Get that bitch. Did you get her? Did you get her good?
Yep. Incoming mail.
And I think that one had the best version of Grandpa.
I cannot believe that they've never had Chop Top come back. Like. They've
always had other fucking lighter versions of Chop Top.
Yeah, because he's too over the top. Over the top for the other
They've had
movies.
like Chop Top with no carbs, Chop Top Ultra. They've had every. They always do a Chop Toppy type character, but it never works because it's not
the 3D one. Did you notice that Bill Moseley plays Uncle Sawyer or Drayton Sawyer?
Yeah,
yes,
so that was cool though. But yeah, I was always disappointed.
Yeah, but they all got killed off in like the first 3 minutes.
Yeah, I was disappointed with the mask in 3D because Nicotero did that. Nicotero and Howard Berger did the effects on that, and I was like, "That's the mask you guys come up with." But I don't know. Maybe it's because it's supposed to be old or something. I don't fucking know. But Dog Will Hunt. Music is my life.
Yeah, like Gunnar Hansen was like 85 in that movie, and he was still running around like a maniac.
You're my favorite.
Yeah, that was like, I think the last thing he's ever done. But so Robbie, you got anything going on you want to throw out there before we get out of here, my brother?
Rockin' Robbie live tomorrow night, and then Monday night PCP movie night. We're talking about Terry Gilliam's 12 Monkeys. That's what we're doing on PCP.
Nice.
Everybody check it out. Yeah, man.
It'll
be a fun one. It's another one that I remember liking more than I did on the rewatch. But the thing is, once you know the twist, the movie seems pretty obvious when you rewatch it. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
We'll see what the conversation.
I always loved the twist though when you didn't like. Because
I remember being like a fucking 15-year-old kid watching this shit on VHS one night. We went to Blockbuster, me and some homies. I just remember being like, "This is the most brilliant film I've ever seen."
It is a good movie though.
It is good. It's a great movie, so it's gonna be a great.
It's on the TV show too, which I've never seen.
Yeah, I haven't seen that.
Which one is that?
12 Monkeys.
TV show is good.
Great movie.
We reviewed 12 Monkeys on your show, didn't we?
Yeah. TV show is pretty good. It kind of loses somewhat toward the end, but the first season is really good.
Yeah, even Evan loves 12 Monkeys too. We reviewed that on your channel.
Yeah, the movie's better, but obviously TV show's all right.
I love Bruce Willis in that. Brad Pitt is fucking fantastic.
Madeline Stone's great in it too, man. So
really good.
I love Terry Gilliam, man. So we did Brazil last year. We did 12 Monkeys this year. Next year, we're probably going to do Fear and Loathing. So,
oh, I love me some Fear and Loathing. Yeah,
Fear in Munchausen.
Scarphead, you got anything going on short?
Well, yeah, I'll be dropping the James Bond Octopussy review tomorrow night, 7:30 on my channel, Scott Pat's Domain. Dylan will have it in a few days after that. And then other than that, just some shorts coming out. So tomorrow night,
bro,
7:30.
I did not see that For Your Eyes Only was at 1.8. That even passed My Spy Who Loved Me.
Yeah, I told you, man. It was doing really well.
Nice.
Yeah.
You got two chicks in bikinis on the thumbnail. That doesn't hurt. If you notice the trend, Dylan.
Yeah. Mike.
Yeah, I got a lot of good.
Put naked women on my thumbnails.
Yes. That works out because I got good views on mine, and Dylan got great views on his, so it works out to kind of split them up.
Well, and it's also like one of the. I think it's the most respected Roger Moore film.
I noticed that if we put them out close together,
well, Octopussy, people just like saying that. Octopussy's got one of the worst theme songs, by the way. As much as I love Bond movies, I love Bond music even more. Yeah. Like I love every Bond theme song except for.
Well, I don't know about that. There's more. Better. No, nobody does it better. Not bad. It's better than. Oh, no, that wasn't Octopussy. Octopussy was "It's an All-Time High."
Oh yeah, that's the worst one. Which one's Nobody Does It Better? Is that the Spy Who Shagged Me?
Spy Love Me. Yeah,
the Spy Who Loved Me. Shit.
Oh yeah, I didn't like that one either.
Hours now. Yeah, those two themes suck.
I don't know. It's not as bad as Sam Smith's one from a few movies ago.
That's a good one.
That one fucking blows chunks, man. Come on.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
After John Barry died, there is no good music.
I'll get the fuck out of here.
John Barry is the true only good composer of Bond movies.
Well, I would agree with that, but I'm talking about the theme songs in particular, man.
And he did most of the theme songs, John.
Well, he helped out, but there's a formula to make a Bond theme song work.
Right.
And like the Sam Cooke one doesn't have that formula, and there are some that do, and those ones that have that formula, they fucking work.
Well, the one thing we noticed this week with Octopussy, and we would talk about that in the review if you watch it tomorrow night, is that movie had the most use of the James Bond theme in it because Never Say Never Again couldn't use any of the Bond music, so they wanted to really play up the fact that they were the Bond, the real Bond.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I'll tell you this: the best Bond theme song is Duran Duran's "View to a Kill," and we all
very good. It is very good.
Very good. Yeah.
That used to be how we wrapped up every karaoke night back in the day. It'd be me, my buddy Tad, and Justin, part of the PCP Excitable crew. We would all three get together at the end of the night, 2 a.m. on Wednesday nights, and do fucking "View to a Kill," and that's when everybody knew it was last call. So hell yeah. Meeting you with a view.
So yeah, be on the lookout for our next 007 review. Check out. Be sure to check out anything Robbie's got going on. Billy, you got anything popping before we get out of here? I don't want to leave you hanging.
Well, last days of the Bad Moon's almost finished. It's getting inked, and then it's going to our colorist, and then it's going to our publisher, Dark Gift Comics. And I'm extremely excited for it. We're working on that and 2 other books at the same time right now. So we're trying to pump it out and get it going. So, and GoldenEye is the best James Bond film, by the way.
It's the best Brosnan one for sure.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
It's a good theme song too, Tina Turner.
Yeah, it was always good.
Oh yeah. So yeah, like I said, Texas Chainsaw Massacre double feature next week.
You know what though, man? I'm sorry, Dylan, man. My favorite Pierce Brosnan one is actually probably The World Is Not Enough. I think that movie's underrated, man. I really
just
do.
like because it has
Terry Hatcher.
No, you just like because it has.
Terry Hatcher is in Tomorrow Never Dies.
It has Denise Richards in it.
Yeah,
and he gets to say, "Christmas comes early this year" because her character's name
is Christmas. Yeah,
she's a nuclear scientist.
Early this year. Yeah, but fucking no, it's like Denise Richards terrible in the movie, but the other Bond chick, it's like Dylan, you ain't seen this one yet, right?
No,
which one?
I don't want to spoil it, but it's like the one where like the villain's played by Robert Carlyle, like at the height of his like post Train Spotting, 28 Days Later, all that shit is going on, and so like he's great in it. He should have just been Blofeld, right? Like
you couldn't use him.
they couldn't. You're right. But they're going for the look almost in a way, right? Like in the later years.
Wait, they dropped them down a tower in Foley, Arizona.
Yeah, but the Bond girl is one of my favorites because she's got more of a role. Not Denise Richards, but the other one.
The other one.
She's got way more of a role in this one than a lot of others have in some of the movies, and I really like that.
That's because it was the 80s, 90s. They were going for monogamy. They didn't want Bond sleeping with a ton of different chicks in the 80s and 90s. So.
Oh, he still sleeps with a bunch of chicks.
No, not a lot. They really dialed it back because of what was going on in the 80s.
Well, Dylan's going to forget this by the next time he watches
it.
He watched it. But like the fact that the main Bond girl is the villain,
right,
is really cool and clever to me. I like that. Dylan's not going to remember this. And the theme song by Garbage is amazing, by the way.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah, it's great. All right, we'll get to the Bond cast later on. Like I love James Bond. Like
come on, Robbie, you gotta come on the show. Yeah. But you hate all the ones we're doing.
You're in the Roger Moore ones. Let me know when you get to Timothy Dalton. We'll talk.
Soon, very soon.
I'll defend Living Daylights and License to Kill.
You want to join us for the Timothy Dalton ones?
Definitely Living Daylights. You let me know. If I can work it out. I'll definitely be there for Living Daylights.
Well, we record them, so
yeah, we record them.
Yeah, you just let me know. I want to do Living Daylights. I'd love that.
Monday night works.
Usually Monday nights around 10.
I'll let you know when we get to it.
Yeah.
No, I don't know if a Monday night would work for me, but we'll talk.
Well, we can always do a different day. We record it. Don't matter.
Yeah, we'll talk. We'll talk.
Right.
We'll figure it out. All right, y'all. Make sure to do your this week's homework: Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake with Jessica Biel, and the prequel, Texas Chainsaw Massacre: A New Beginning with Jordana Brewster. And I appreciate everyone that came and hung out with us tonight. Bobby, Chill Out, Two Gun, Evan, P Money. Thanks for the memberships. Frickin' who else was up in here? See, the chat goes so far up. Farpoint. We had a good chat in here, like 17, 20 people tonight. Kitty Nimbles. I know Lulu was in here.
I don't know who Bobby is, but it's because Bobby was here.
It's Bobby.
We had
Bobby was awesome.
The spirit of Bobby upon us.
Hey man, I didn't get no sleep. I've had a sick puppy, man. It's been a rough week. And there was a Bobby D.
Mm-hmm.
He was up in here.
Bobby.
That's right.
Yeah. Have a good night, y'all. We appreciate y'all hanging out. Enjoy your weekend, and we'll see you guys next week. Peace out, y'all.